Robin Hood Radio presents Flavor Matters with Serge Matakian. He's the owner of Saravan Restaurant in Armenia. If you can't find him in the kitchen or gardens, then follow him either on Facebook or Twitter at SaravanNY.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. This is Serge from Saravan Restaurant and Flavor Matters. I am in conversation with Armineh Hovanesian, an Armenian Iranian like myself, who currently is living in Los Angeles, California. Thank you, Armineh for staying.
Of course.
Armineh, we spoke about your forced migration, and I just want to quickly footnote, just for my own self and hopefully for the benefit of the listeners, that both your migration and mine was not we should say immigration to the U.S. was not by choice, but it was a matter of saving our lives, a decision that was made by our parents. And then also because of a turmoil that our home country, Iran, was experiencing. And it wasn't until I was in college in my mid-20s that I really understood the difficulties that Iran faced and the role the US government and the British government played. And another thing that I wanted to say, you mentioned about the foresight of your parents and your father's foresight and inside information, but it's important for our listeners to also recognize that your parents and my parents, they lived through and survived through the turmoil of 1955 during Mossad.
Exactly.
And again, then I was not aware of it until later in life, in college. Again, the role that the British government and the U.S. government played in the outing of the Shah and the turmoil, and then of course the outing of the Mossad.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's immigration happened for various reasons, you know. And we spoke about how you adjusted, how your mother adjusted, how your father stayed behind to finish things. And then, you know, you assimilated and you found yourself in this new home, America, in which you grew up. And then what I am interested in is your sense of being an Armenian person, a creative Armenian person, living in a society in which assimilation is really easy. It's very easy to assimilate and become an American and take on a lot of the American cultures, but you have maintained not only your own sense of Armenian identity, but you've imparted that also to your daughter, and you remain involved in the Armenian creative world. And what I find, and maybe this is my subjective imposition onto your work, what I find in your photography is this deep sense of Armenian aesthetics.
Yeah.
Am I correct about that?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yes. So basically what I try to do, if I'm not doing just straight photography, because 95% of my work is mobile photography and mobile art, if you will. And I'm I belong to the first wave of this mobile photography movement that came out.
Oh, please don't be humble. Tell us about all the awards that you have. And the exhibitions that you have.
Yeah, so basically this movement started like in 2009. Kind of in that the 2009 2010 in that vicinity, and I fortunately I just stumbled into this, and I'm like, oh my god, this is great. It's a totally, I call it an art movement, and it is an art movement, whether people agree or disagree. And as far as I knew, I was the only Armenian in the midst of all these wonderful people that I've gotten to know and have met, a lot of them throughout the years. And and then I tried to better my skills. I've done exhibitions in a lot of countries around the world. I have, yes,
One
I
of your
have gotten awards.
yes, of course, you've won awards.
Yeah.
I know that, but your most recent exhibition was in Lisbon, Portugal, right?
Yes, yes, it was.
Correctly?
Yes, it was.
Beautifully in this garden. You're the
It
photograph.
was gorgeous. I
Yeah.
wish I could have been there. It wasn't in Lisbon, actually. It was in Avintes, which is near Porto, up north.
Okay.
And
In
again,
Portugal.
yeah, and this was again one of those wonderful, wonderful opportunities that they reached out to me. This was not a submission, so that's why this is really one of the highlights of my life,
Bravo to
because
you.
someone is actually acknowledging what I do. And it was a gorgeous setting in this I think it's a villa. Unfortunately, I haven't seen it, but all my work was displayed outdoors, and it was printed on like I think some kind of plastic material. So if it's raining or something, it's not on paper, so it won't. Yeah.
But it
So
was like in a garden with a fountain in the
yes,
center, and everybody would walk around.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. It
And
was beautiful setting. Beautiful setting. So basically, this art form has given me a whole lot more of an opportunity to express myself. And this is where I'm able, when I'm doing the mobile art work, I'm able to assimilate my Armenianness, whether it's just by symbols, if it's by hand gestures, or if it's by doing something. And one of my main influences, whom I adore, is Parajanov. And he's still, even though he's gone, but he never ceases to amaze me.
Right.
And as I'm getting older and I understand more and more, I dig in deeper, and I still find new things. He still surprises me.
And I think just to interject, having been to Parajanov's museum and watched his movies, there's a fluidity
exactly
in his creativity that is not necessarily Armenian, but when you look at it, it's Armenian.
Exactly.
I should say, if you're an Armenian, then you connect with it. So there's no escaping, even though it's a very fluid, and there is also, what I want to say about fluidity is that it's not a very patriarchal or male female. The fluidity and what makes it fascinating is that we're talking about a guy in the 50s and 60s.
Yes, exactly.
In the Soviet era.
Yeah.
Who was also imprisoned and tortured because of his creativity, and he didn't give up.
Exactly.
So can you, for me, I think creativity is a process. Food for me is a creative process. Playing the piano, even writing. I find writing to be the most difficult form of creative process. I'm curious how you nurture it and what inspires you, how you foster it.
Well, it all stems from basically my feelings, how I'm feeling at a specific moment or on a specific day. There are periods of time that my mind is just blank. when I'm like that, I always say my muses are on holiday. They need to come back. They need a break. They need to come back. So basically, that's the process. I may have an idea or something is brewing in my head, and then I listen to classical music most of the time. So it for 1 second, I don't know, maybe a Beethoven piece, maybe a Philip Glass piece or something. Suddenly something just ignites in my head. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, it's all about feeling something. And I just start my process of work and layering and juxtaposing everything. And then I see how it comes out. I don't have a preconceived, like I don't decide, okay, I'm going to draw a picture, or a cup, or I'm going to, I don't know, work on this hand photography. No, I don't. It's just whatever comes. And another thing that helps a lot, you never quit playing piano. I did when I was young, so I've picked it up again. So
we're both experiencing the same thing.
Yeah. So that too, I'm like, I need to, I'm like, okay, it's like I need to get myself balanced, especially during the last year due to COVID and the lockdown and not being able to go anywhere, go to galleries or concerts or any kind of a cultural event. I just feel like I need to find my balance. So honestly, I haven't been very creative when it comes to my art. I'm hoping that these doors will open soon, because I feel like I'm like in a small cell, sitting in a small cell in the darkness. I don't see everything right now. Yeah,
I fully understand. Armineh, I want to speak with you more, so I know we're limited on time. I want to clearly say that I identify with the muses being on vacation.
Yes, yeah.
And then also how a piece by Beethoven or Chopin or Bach or classical music and how it can awaken or tap into something that maybe I wasn't paying attention to. It's deep inside. And then the process of bringing that out is what is so satisfying. I would love to continue. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. I've had the pleasure of speaking to Armineh Hovanesian. We are going to continue our conversation and her visit to Armenia and how her visits to Armenia have inspired her. This is Serge from Saravan Restaurant and Flavor Matters. Thank you for tuning in.
You only have about 12, 13 minutes left here, Serge.
Perfect.
Well, you keep it really short because it'll just cut off.
I know, we're going. I'm setting my time, so we have 10 minutes. Okay. I'm starting now.
Flavor Matters is a joint production of the Saravan Restaurant and Robin Hood Radio. For more information on the Saravan Restaurant in Armenia, New York, saravan.com on the web.